Hi, in this lesson, we'll dig deeper into writing effective linear regression models. While sklearn makes it very easy to create a linear model, it is important to understand what constitutes an effective working linear model. Otherwise, we may be creating linear models that make inaccurate predictions. Creating an effective model requires the training and testing of pre-existing models. Suppose we had a dataset that we wanted to create a linear model for. In order to create the model, we need to use the data to figure out a line of best fit. We train the model by inputting this data into the skregression function. In order to test if the model is working correctly, we need to feed our model some of our existing data and compare the output to the expected result. In order to do this, we need to leave out some of the data from our dataset. We leave data out because testing the model on data that was used to build the model is going to provide inaccurate results. Think about it this way. Your teacher wants you to prepare for an exam, so they give you a practice problem to prepare, or train yourself for the exam. When they hand you the exam, all of the questions on the exam are exact same questions as the practice questions that were given for homework. You do a great job on the exam because you knew you had seen those questions before. The problem with this exam is that you weren't really being evaluated on the concepts that you learned, but rather your ability to memorize a set of questions provided to you. Your teacher can only really assess how well you know the concepts if you were given another test with different questions that you've never seen before. Machine learning models operate the same way. We need to feed them questions or data they've never seen before to accurately assess their learning. We can do this by separating our data into a testing and training set. The training set should represent somewhere around 70% of the collected data. This is to ensure that there is enough data to create a working model, but also enough data to test. This data should be grouped randomly, so as to ensure the data isn't biased. Once the training data has been selected, it can be fit using linear regression. We can then test the model by seeing how well the model predicts the y value of the testing data. So we're going to use the predict function to predict the number of chirps at 57 and 66 degrees. We basically want to know, what does our model say about the number of chirps when the temperature is 57 and 66? So we take the independent variables and input into the predict function. This returns a predicted value that is based on the model created by the training dataset. We can then compare the predicted value to the actual value. In this example, our model predicted that at 57 degrees, there would be 22.4 chirps per minute. Our testing data shows that the chirps at 57 degrees is 20.4 chirps. While our prediction isn't exactly the same, it's pretty close. A model's accuracy is determined by how many correct predictions it made compared to the total number of predictions. When evaluating the accuracy of a model, it's important to consider how accurate your model needs to be. In this case, being off by a chirp or two isn't going to have a substantial effect on our predictions. This discrepancy may be more important if the difference between the prediction and the actual result had a serious consequence, like predicting fuel needed for a spaceship. Because of the nature of this dataset, we can say that the model made 2 accurate predictions out of the 2 tests. As stated earlier, the quality of predictions are only as good as the quality of the model. We can determine the quality of a model in a few ways. First and foremost, we can determine its quality by looking at the R-squared coefficient and the model's testing accuracy. If either of those numbers is low, then the model might not be very credible, and it might be necessary to alter the model. Models might not be accurate for several reasons. As you try to adjust and improve your model, it's important to consider the following questions. Do I have enough data? Models make predictions based on existing data. If there isn't enough data, it may provide erratic results. Try finding or including more data to improve the quality of the model. Do the variables have a linear relationship? Are they correlated? If the correlation coefficient is low, and the data doesn't appear visually to have a linear relationship, you might want to consider a nonlinear model, such as an exponential or quadratic model. We won't get into these types of models, but just know there are other models out there. Lastly, is the training data different than the testing data? If the testing data is used to train the model, then the model may provide inaccurate results. Make sure to provide around 25 to 30% of your data for testing. Now that you've learned about the importance of training and testing, in the next video, you will learn how to split the data into training and testing data using sklearn.